Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you wherever you are. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by Merlin Hildred, your Allstate insurance agent. If you need insurance, Merlin said, call me. I'm located at 730 West of Britain Road in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Today's program is a very special program because today I will give you some information, and I've been flooded with calls. Those of you that want to participate in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, and let me tell you, it's time to enlist now. The pageant is open to all, regardless of race, creed, or color, between the ages of 17 and 24. What I want you to do is to call us if you want to participate. That's 424-3949 or 672-1220. This portion of our program is brought to you by Miss Black Oklahoma. We will give you a rundown, and we are very proud of the people at the University of Central Oklahoma that's getting ready for the pageant. The people at Stillwater at Oklahoma State University, the people at Langston University, and the people in Tulsa are getting ready for the Miss Black Oklahoma State pageant that will be held in Oklahoma City, June of 2003. And certainly we would like to thank the people at the New Zion Baptist Church that has invited the Miss Black Oklahoma contestants, staff, escorts, parents, and friends to worship with them on that exciting day when these young ladies will be in Oklahoma City. Thank you, Reverend Tucker, and the members of the New Zion Baptist Church. Well, today is a very exciting day for us, and we are going to send somebody out to eat some good old barbecue out at Tom's Barbecue. We do have some things that we saved for this special day, and I'm going to ask her some questions, and all of our questions today will be related to Martin Luther King Jr. and his celebrations. This portion of our program is brought to you by Gates Barbershop, where you have professional barbers that are waiting to serve you, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You don't need an appointment. All you need to do is to drive in. You don't have a parking problem at 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Hometown would like to thank all of you for what you have done, because this has become the community city's grocery store, located at 23rd and Martin Luther King. Now, when you go in the store, shop around, look at the bargains, all at Hometown. Well, you want to see a plumber? Do you want a plumber? A real plumber? Somebody that can get in your house and fix those pipes for you. Well, stay tuned to the Clara Luper radio show, and you will be able to find a real plumber. Yes, the telephone number is 771-4875, 558-4040, 771-4875, 558-4040. Congratulations to Mrs. Gloria Matthews, who went to Baptist Hospital and had a very successful surgery, and who's back home. And this morning when I talked to Mrs. Gloria Matthews, she wanted me to tell you how much she appreciated the flowers, the cards, just the signs that you loved her. She's at home now. That's Mrs. Gloria Matthews, the owner of Johnson Shadina's Daycare Center. Johnson Shadina's Daycare Center. I call it a center because that's a center, that's a daycare, that's a service where people have been getting services for years and years and years. I think she's back to the third generation. She has a staff that really carried on while she was in the hospital, and she's so grateful to that staff. She is so grateful. She just wants to say thanks, 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 and thanks again. Yes, today our news reporters are here. And at this time, we will be hearing from our sports reporter who was on vacation last week.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fidel, your sports reporter. Boys basketball game scores are Putnam City 75, Midwest City 50, Putnam North 59, Westmore 51, Putnam West 61, Jinx 60, Broken Arrow 65, John Marshall 63, El Reno 34, U.S. Grant 71, Noble 70. Girls basketball game scores are John Marshall 60, Lawton 37, Westmore 63, Douglas 33, Star Spencer 70, Westmore 49, Putnam West 49, Millwood 41. This is Fidel, your sports reporter, and I'm getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Thank you, Fidel. Well, I would like to thank you on behalf of all the mothers and grandmothers that you got presents for during the holidays, because I told you what a mother was. A mother is a hotel. What a mother is, she's a hotel, a nurse, a maid, an accountant, an answering machine, a baker, a cook, a chauffeur, a cleaner, an entertainer, a gardener, a hair stylist, a judge, a mechanic, a musician, a painter, a seamstress, a storyteller, a tourist guide, a doctor, a babysitter, a speech therapist. Yes, a mother is an optometrist. She has to look in your eyes and see what's wrong with you. No wonder you gave her a present. Ladies and gentlemen, you're waiting now. You're waiting on your weather boy. Your weather boy is here and he is ready.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Derry on, your weather boy. The sun is shining, the wind is blowing, but it's still snowing. You gotta wear your coat if you're going outside.
Yeah, well, you say wear your what if you're going outside?
Wear your coat.
Coat. Do you have your coat? Do you have your coat?
Yes.
Okay, what will the weather be like tomorrow? Because everybody be going to church.
Colder than this.
It'll be colder than this tomorrow. Okay, well, thank you so very kindly, our weather boy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's all out in the open now. It's in the open now. We know exactly what the United States District Attorney, the United States District Attorney said. And I want you to remember what he said. It was not surprising because we heard those words in 1857 in the Dred Scott decision. As evidently he was looking at that decision when he handed down his report this week, that he saw nothing that was no civil rights were willfully violated. And that was Robert G. McCampbell, the United States Attorney for the Western Federal District. The same thing that was said in the Dred Scott case. What civil rights? It's all right, he was saying, to beat up an individual. Beat him good. Whip him good. Because we aren't going to file any charges against you. I would like to congratulate Attorney Robert Combs, who stated that race played a big part in the case. And I would like to say amen, amen, amen. As I see it. Now, this is what I see. Because I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma. And in Hoffman, Oklahoma, when somebody takes something and whip you, just like Pete was getting his whipping, we call that a whipping. I don't know where the Honorable United States Attorney Robert G. McCampbell is from. But I would like for somebody to call me and tell me where he's from. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and I want to give somebody a barbecue dinner. Hello?
Morning, Miss Luper.
Yes.
This is Dina Red.
Yes, Dina. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful this morning.
Okay.
I have house guests here from Okmulgee who I met in Tulsa, Oklahoma on the 28th of December for a holiday festivities and having a wonderful visit with them. Now, to answer your question, I don't know where he's from.
I sure would like to know where he's from. Robert G. McCampbell, who said that he did not see. And you know what amazes me, Dina?
Mm-hmm.
That incident happened in July, and this is January. And it took him July, August, September, October, November, December to hand down a decision. He could have handed it down the next day. Oh, well, anyway, what's going on?
Well, first of all, regarding that issue that you're speaking of,
Yes.
we must be able to move ourselves outside of the box and understand that in this society, as a people, we do not have to be oppressed. The oppression, the injustice exists only in the mind.
No, it's not in the mind. That man handed down the decision and said that this man's civil rights was not interfered with.
I agree with that, Miss Luper.
Okay.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. He can no matter what the justice system does about that, it cannot destroy the man's spirit. That's my point.
Okay, well, okay, I
You
have
agree
your
with
point.
me?
I have your point. No, it
Okay.
cannot destroy our spirit because we are strong people. We survived 246 years of slavery. We survived 100 years of constitutional discrimination. And then I want to know where Robert G. McCampbell is from. Okay, tell me the news.
Today's news, and I'm very excited about it, is the issue of the Midwest City Dr. Martin Luther King prayer breakfast, which will take place at the Rose State College Communications Center Performing Arts Center in the theater. And this year's keynote speaker will be none other than the renowned, internationally known, nationally known, and our own local civil rights leader who has not only talked about what is right, who has not only talked about how we must fight for justice, but who has also fought for justice herself. And that now I do have the answer to the question regarding who the keynote speaker will be. That keynote speaker will be none other than Clara Luper. Now, I would like for the radio audience to know that Mrs. Luper has spoken not only across the state, the nation, but across the world. You know, Miss Luper, you've spoken, and you don't tell people what you do, but I want to announce to the listening audience this morning, because we have people listening not only locally but across the state, that you have spoken in Guam. You have spoken in Saipan. You have traveled abroad to the Orient. And there is something to be said about a woman who is respected highly enough to be asked, invited, pleaded with, just come and tell our people what your experience has been, and to further describe the statement that I made regarding a speaker this year for the Midwest City Dr. Martin Luther King breakfast. We have a speaker listening audience out there. Those of you who are listening, we have a speaker who has not only talked about, and I know you know this, but she has fought for freedom, equality, Christianity, responsibility. not only through her words, but through her actions. How many times have you been to jail?
26 times.
That's what I thought. 26 times. How many people out there would just willingly go to jail and fight for a cause? Fight for a cause and willingly go to jail. Know that when you're fighting for the cause, you may end up in jail. You may end up with a water hose splattering you all over the sidewalk. So, Miss Luper, I applaud you this morning, and I want the people to know that your speech is going to be captivating. I've heard you speak before, and I didn't know myself. My feet were on the ground, and by the end of your speech, my feet were on the floor, and I was standing up, and I don't even remember myself ordering my motor skills to do that. So,
Okay, this year I was invited to go back to Guam, and did you see what they sent me to wear when I?
well, yes, I did. I was in your home the other evening, and they have sent. We're not talking about 14 or 16 or 18 karat gold. These people had, with their own hands, made a pure gold pendant, and the chain itself that holds the replica on the pendant is pure gold. And it is simply beautiful. It is something that you cannot buy here.
But I like the letter that they wrote me. That was just wonderful.
And you know what, Mrs. Luper, I'd like for the people who are listening out there to know that you canceled a trip to Guam. You canceled a trip to go to Guam and speak on Martin Luther King's holiday. You canceled a $3,000 speaking engagement, and don't fuss at me for telling your business, but that's what they pay you when you go over there. That doesn't include airfare, hotel, food, tours, and other honorariums that they give you for your programs. You cancel that because you have a commitment to the Midwest City Dr. Martin Luther King prayer breakfast as a member of that committee. And I know what your cause is, because if those of you who are listening have been here in Oklahoma City for the past 30 years, there was a time when our young black people couldn't drive through Midwest City without being arrested if a white girl was in the car. And there was a time here recently that no one even acknowledged Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday in Midwest City. And it is because of the influence of our own civil rights leader, Clara Luper, on that committee that these people have formed a respect for a man who has also been your counterpart, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man you have also sat at the table with and planned and taken upon yourself to plan a future with for our nation of black people. They respect you. They know you know personally the man who is behind the Martin Luther King.
Okay.
So,
Dina, when will this breakfast be?
it'll be the 20th of January,
What time?
7 o'clock in the morning.
How
at
much
the,
will the people have to pay for the breakfast?
the breakfast is free.
The breakfast is free?
Yes, ma'am. The breakfast is free. And this year we are remembering the dream once again.
Okay.
And Mrs. Luper, I just want to applaud you. I want to personally thank you, not on behalf of the committee. I'm thanking you as a young woman. 30 years ago, I've come up under your tutelage since I was 12 years old, and I just want to thank you for continuing to strive to work toward the cause of freedom, equality, through peace and love. And your presence on this committee has made the committee what it is.
Are you saying that everybody is invited to attend this breakfast?
Yes, ma'am.
And that breakfast?
Yes, I am saying that. Yes,
that breakfast will be held where? In what building?
It will be in the Performing Arts Building. Rose State College, it's the Performing Arts Building.
At what time?
7 o'clock in the morning on Monday, January 20th. That is going to be, I want the people who are listening to know that that breakfast will be a week from Monday, a week from day after tomorrow on Monday morning.
Okay, well, thank you so very kindly, and say a special hello to your mother. For all of us out here, we certainly are glad. We are glad that she's at the hospital.
She's doing very well, and as a matter of fact, she's on hold right now on my phone. So I will go back to her and let her know that you are sending your best wishes to her. She knows that already, but thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you.
I hope everyone will have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you out there at the Martin Luther King breakfast. I will be there at the door.
You are the
I am
executive
also
secretary.
on that committee.
You are, and you're doing a terrific job.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this portion of our program was brought to you by Johnson Shadina's Daycare, and that's located northeast 50th Street in the heart of Oklahoma City. There you will see a staff that was able to carry on while Mrs. Matthews was in the hospital. And we would like to thank Exotic Florists for those beautiful flowers and that beautiful arrangement. Now, I wanted to tell you about the plumber. Call 558-4040. Call 771-4875. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show. Now, our question today will be based on Martin Luther King's life. My first question is, what was the name of the church that Martin Luther King, the first church that he pastored in Alabama? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Words of wisdom.
Oh, I need some wisdom today.
All right. Here we go. Remember, life is a gift. Unwrap your present.
Oh, just a minute. Say that again.
Remember, life is a gift. Unwrap your present.
Life is a gift. Unwrap your present. Oh, my. Thank you so very kindly.
All right.
And I want to know if you're coming out to Rose State on Martin Luther King.
If my doctor allow me to, I'll be there.
You're so sweet, Ken. Thank you, because remember, life is a gift. Unwrap your present. Okay.
Unwrap your present.
Thank you.
All right.
Johnson Shadina's is located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City. The telephone number is 424-4656. I'm going to give you a barbecue dinner from Tom's Barbecue only if you tell me what was the name of the church, the first church that Martin Luther King pastored in Montgomery, Alabama. The telephone number out here is 672-1220. Calvin is a happy person today. Oh, you should see him. He has his cap on, and he is ready. He is ready to talk to you today. Johnson Shardina's, 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City. Robert Gates, 2609 North Martin Luther King. Hometown, 2001 Northeast 23rd Street. Tom's Barbecue, 2504 Northeast 10th Street. Yes, this is the Clara Luper Radio Show. Yes, Calvin, how are you today?
Mom, I'm just totally fantastic.
Oh, Calvin, I don't hear you. Wait a minute.
My life is such a thrill. It's such a pleasure to be here live and in beautiful living color here in this beautiful blue room. KTLV 1220-672-1220 is the phone number also. But it's so good to be here, Mom. I am so happy. I know what the sports were. I got my weather report. And I like that. Life is a gift. Unwrap your present. So I'm finna unwrap my present, and I'm finna share it with you, and this most intelligent listening audience.
I understand you had a big offer this week.
Oh, Mom, good things happen to people doing good things, and I will tell you later on. But right now, I want you to call that friend and call that neighbor and invite them to be a part of the Clara Luper Radio Show, because I'm going to tell you something that you will not, well, you should believe it because it happened. And it only happened because I was prepared. If you're not prepared, then you can't be ready for when it comes. You know, blessings come sometimes and people be standing around, oh, I missed that blessing. Well, I was ready for my blessing. So
you got a blessing this week. You got a big offer. I got a blessing.
I'll tell you about it. It is now 9:27, but I will tell you about it.
When are you going to tell us?
I'm going to tell you about 10 minutes till 10 o'clock.
Okay, Calvin, I don't know whether people can wait. I don't know that.
What do you mean they can't wait? Everybody got to wait on the Clara Luper Radio Show. We still haven't talked about the buses this week. We still haven't talked about what's happening in our city. And, you know, that's part of the highlights of the other show because we hit the nail on the head. As usual, we will do it. We haven't talked about...
the governor's going to be inaugurated.
I'm not going to talk about my governor.
Wonder how many of you are going to the governor's ball?
Let's don't worry about the governor. Did you get an invitation?
Of course I got an invitation.
Well, you did. I didn't get one. It's right on 23rd, right up the street from. But I didn't get an invitation.
The governor will be living on the Clara Luper's corridor.
Well, that's why you got. Well, well, I'm glad he's come over. I'm glad to see his appointments, but I didn't get an invitation to the ball.
I wonder where will his children go to school? Will they go to school on the northeast
side? They probably go back to Tulsa. But at any rate, Mom, we got a call on the line. Let's take this caller.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show. We are so glad that you're with us this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Anna Slaughter, and I would just like to say to Clara, and I hope all teachers are listening, that the reason that you get those invites and get all those things is because you saw a young boy, didn't have shoes to wear, reached out to him, and he is the catalyst that have you coming to Saipan, to Guam, and to the Orient. What is his name?
Okay, I don't tell all my secrets.
You don't tell all your secrets.
No.
But it's no secret that this young man is the reason that you go hither, thither, and yon, because he is just one person that you reached out to. Teachers, please, use Clara Luper as an example. Reach out to these children. They're crying out to you. God gave everybody a gift, and a teacher should be the one that will look at that child, all children, and see the gifts that's in them because they're our future. And I just want to congratulate you on being that speaker, and I shall be there, and I will be your critique. And you have
my gracious, I'm in serious trouble.
I'm
really in serious trouble.
You have a blessed day, Clara. I love you very much. And Calvin, I love your singing. Bye.
Okay, you love Calvin singing?
Well, I have to make him feel good.
Okay, now I ask you a pointed question. Do you love Calvin singing?
I always tell the truth. I endure Calvin singing.
Okay, now you are coming up with some big words. Remember, I'm from Hoffman, and you are from some little shotgun town, Gary, wherever that is.
Gary, Oklahoma.
Yes.
The biggest little city in Oklahoma. Yes, Calvin.
What's the difference between love and endure?
I love Calvin singing that he has the nerve to realize he can't sing, but he tries, and nothing beats a failure but a try. I love your singing, Calvin.
Now, Ann, you're confusing me. Nothing beats a failure but a try.
That's right.
Oh.
And he tries every week.
And does he fail?
Well, he's coming up. Let's put it that way.
Okay, he's coming up. Would you invite him, if he would have a concert, would you buy a ticket to come to his concert?
If he had a free pass, I would come.
Oh, but you wouldn't buy a ticket. Would you buy a ticket?
Why are you trying to do this? Yes, I would buy a ticket to come and see Calvin because I've known him since he's been a little boy.
Oh, I see. That's a good reason to buy a ticket because you have known him. This is a Clara Luper Radio Show, and I want to give you a barbecue dinner because we're celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday, and Martin Luther King's birthday is on the 15th of January. However, because of Congress and the President of the United States, that birthday is celebrated the Monday. That gives everybody a long weekend. Now, what was the name of the first church that Martin Luther King pastored? Hello? Hello?
I have the answer.
Okay, give me the answer.
The Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Well, you are so wrong, it's unbelievable. You are wrong. You are wrong. Thank you for calling. I don't even want to know your name. This is Clara Luper. Come on and get you a good old barbecue dinner. I ask a simple question. You know so much about Martin Luther King. That was the first question. What's the name of the first church that he pastored in Montgomery, Alabama? Well, this part of our program is brought to you by Allstate Insurance Company's agent, Marilyn Hildreth. And Calvin is going to be telling you about Marilyn and her gumbo. You know, for the Super Bowl, I understand that Marilyn will be taking orders for gumbo. And if you want some gumbo to celebrate the a Super Bowl, you may. Now, I don't know. Maybe my grandson here might want some gumbo as he celebrates. Fidel, do you want some gumbo?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you know who makes gumbo?
Yes, my Aunt Marilyn does.
Is it good?
Yes.
Let me ask the weather boy. Do you like gumbo? Do you like? Who makes gumbo?
Yes.
Who makes gumbo? I ask you.
My Aunt Marilyn.
Can she do it?
Yes.
Okay, then. But tell somebody that if they need some gumbo, tell them to call your Aunt Mary. Why don't you, Aunt Marilyn, tell them?
If you want some gumbo, call my Aunt Marilyn.
Okay, that telephone number is 843-0811. Yes, today's program is being brought to you by Johnson Shadina, 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Do we have a guest out there, Calvin?
Well, we have better than the guest, but we have two callers on the line.
Okay.
Anxious to talk with you.
Okay, I want to talk to
I
him
hate
too.
missing
Okay.
my microphone. Give me this mic.
Okay.
Good morning.
Now, let me see.
Man, that's a tough question.
No, that's not tough,
That is
Calvin.
tough.
That's
Mom, we have a
simple.
call on the line.
Okay,
They might be
okay.
ready. We had one on the line, but they went off after David answered that question.
David asked that question at
David is
Dexter
tough.
Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. That was his first church that he passed.
Well, you know, Mom, earlier, Mrs. Red and Edwina talked to you about what's happening on the Martin Luther King Day celebration.
That was a big
that
parade,
morning,
too.
That big parade. There's also the bell ringing ceremony.
Right at the state capitol.
Okay, and there's also something there that the NACP adult branch, the NACP, will be having too.
Yes, sir. And the NACP will be leading this parade, and rightfully so, because you remember when they first started out, it was the NACP. Well,
Well,
anyway.
how can I be a participant in that?
All
If
you
I
have to do
if
is
I have
say-
my loose horse, somebody asked me about a mule during the course of the week. If I got my 40 acres and a mule, how can I get them to be a part of the parade? Or how can I be a part of it? What do you want
maybe
me to
somebody
do?
from the parade will call out here,
Okay.
and that's going to be a big one. That will be a big one because we have people
Special
participating in the
times.
parade. Well, anyway, let them call out here. I'll pick up your paper.
Life
Let's go.
is a
We got
gift. Unwrap your present.
unwrap
Go.
your present. and
Thank
I
you,
do
caller.
that.
I'm so
Kevin,
glad.
I am so lucky. You know, I asked everybody that hated
Lucky.
me to send me $10.
Uh-oh.
Guess how many
Mom,
$10 I received?
well, I haven't heard you bragging, but if
But-
you asked for it, I'm certain that you got it.
Look,
But how many
everybody
$10
hated
did
me.
you receive?
Okay,
How many
I'll
$10?
tell you.
Tell
I'm
me,
gonna tell you
tell-
after
you
your
go-
song. We have someone
Is that
on the
a- is that a
telephone.
chitlin?
We have someone on the telephone.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to call in and tell you I enjoyed the show this morning, hearing the call about the breakfast and everything.
Well,
And,
thank you.
And I really enjoyed the show this morning. I think you all doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. We needed that.
I think that Dina did a good job as far as presenting the breakfast and everything, letting everybody know to come out.
Well, what is your name?
My name is Tony.
Tony?
Yes.
Well, thank you so very kindly.
Well, thank you. Y'all keep up the good work.
Okay.
All right.
Kelvin, they don't know who made the motion. Now, what a lot of young people don't know is that if you wouldn't be where you were if it were not for some old people.
Well, Mom,
And it was an old minister
a
that
lot
made
of
the
old
motion.
people don't know
Okay.
who made that motion. You know.
Okay. Hello.
Good morning. Thank you for being a call on the Clara Luper Radio Show this beautiful Saturday morning. What did Darian say? It's windy, the sun is shining, but it's cold outside. Make sure you wear that coat. Thank you for calling.
Good morning,
How are you doing?
ladies and gentlemen. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter. The NAACP Youth Council meetings are every Monday night at 7 o'clock, and as secretary, I'm inviting you to come and join us. Martin Luther King Day is getting closer and closer, and I hope that everyone comes to join and support us in the many activities. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter.
Okay, well, thank you so very kindly, and everybody should come out. If you can't walk, come anyway. I'll tell you, you just come on out. This has been such a pleasure to talk to you and to tell you that of all the people in Oklahoma City, not a one of you sent me $10 because you hated me. Isn't that something?
Mom, would
They
you
hate us.
$10
But-
cash or $10 money order, $10?
Don't send
Because
me
I
no
know
text.
that I've answered the phone several times and I've heard some comments, but then
Nobody knows where is Robert G. McCampbell from. It took him from July
to what?
to January to figure out that Pete's civil rights was not taken away from him. Oh my gracious! Where did he come from? That's
Are you
what I
talking
want
about
to know.
the beating that didn't happen? The federal government say he wasn't beat like that and no rights were
They
violated.
say your eyes are deceiving you.
Yes.
That was not a beating. That was not a beating.
That
Well,
was
we had
a
heard that
whooping,
before,
but
and we
it
were
did
not
not
surprised.
happen, and the federal government said it did not happen. Can you believe
Well,
that?
it's nothing wrong with the federal government. It's something wrong with the interpreters of the Constitution. Now, if you're going to tell me, I'm going to look at somebody beating on somebody, and you're going to tell me that man wasn't whipped,
Oh, that was
I'll take
that
Robert
was a
G.
video. That was a
McCampbell.
video.
Well,
Don't
what we
nobody know
need-
the real thing but Pete and the policeman and that young lady.
Nobody
in the car.
knows it. Anybody that have
That
eyes
was
can
vid-
see. It
that
says,
was video.
He that
That's
has
what the federal
eyes, let
government
them
want-
see.
The federal government wants you to believe the United States
Yeah, the
attorney,
federal government
they
at one
want you
time
to
wanted
believe
us
that
to
that
believe
did not happen.
The federal government at one time wanted us to believe that slavery was right.
And
and
also that we
ordinary.
weren't a full man. Remember
Yeah,
that?
you were only 3/5 of a
so,
citizen.
So you can believe what the
Okay.
federal government wants you to believe if you want to. But you know what I love about what happened on that, Mom, is that it happened. You know, all of us were hoping that it
No,
wouldn't
they
happen
say
like that.
the federal government, under the leadership of Robert G. McCampbell, say that was
I'm
not a
saying the
beating.
interpretation-
It's civil rights.
the
In the
interpretation
Dred
of
Scott
it.
case, they say, Calvin, that a black man had no rights that a white man had to respect. This is the same decision. It's just dressed up in different words. Well, nobody's called to answer my second question. I better ask a third question.
Well, I know there are a lot
Who
more
was
safer
the-
drivers here in Oklahoma now because nobody want to be stopped by any of the Oklahoma City police because no telling what kind of whooping you might get that did not happen.
Yeah, they can whip you and
it
just
didn't happen.
tie your behind up, but you aren't getting a whipping. Your rights aren't being taken away from you.
Please don't stop in no church parking lot. 'Cause
Where
it
was
did not happen.
Where's Robert G. McCampbell from? That's all I want to know. And I'm gonna find out. If I have to go down to his office and ask him. Tell me what happened.
Mom, please don't go down to his office because
Why? That
we
office
want you to be
belongs
on
to
the
the
radio show.
Oh,
we
Calvin.
want you to be a part
Robert
of it.
G. McCampbell, the United States Attorney for the Western District, said it didn't happen.
Well, let's talk
And it
about
took-
something positive.
Calvin,
I
it
got-
took him from July to January to figure that out.
That's the
My
same-
weather boy could have figured that out because my weather boy saw that. Well, Calvin,
But it didn't happen, Mom.
it did happen. We
It did.
saw it with our eyes.
I believe what the federal government
Well,
said. It
I-
did not happen. Pete was
the
not
federal
hooked.
government
His,
said
his
that-
head was not
The
swollen.
federal government says that slavery was right. The federal government allowed slavery to continue in the United States from 1789 until a constitutional amendment was added to the United States Constitution. Don't tell me about the federal government. You can say federal government, you mean the people that interpreted the law.
All right.
And
All
I
right,
like
history
Barbara
teacher.
Jordan when she told everybody
All right.
that now the law means something to me. But anyway, as we celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday, we need to know something about Martin Luther King. The next question, what position did Rosie Parks hold in the NAACP when she took that seat? That's all I need to know. If you can tell me what position Rosie Parks, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you down to Marie's.
Marie's. Now, Marie's is a what?
It's a beauty shop.
Oh, okay. I
and
thought
a
we
place.
get
And Marie has a
Marie's
gift.
Beauty Shop.
Yes.
I know
it's called Petite.
several people that I wish would call in and win that because
Okay, yes.
all of us need a little more beauty in our life.
Well, Marie and Donna are there, and if you can tell me, and Calvin, did you get the question?
I got the question, Mom, but I know the answer too.
You know the answer?
I know the answer, but I'm not going to say it because,
What position did she hold in the NAACP?
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks, that's what I want to know.
Okay. I know
Okay.
the answer, but I can't say it because I'm part of the staff here. But this is KTLV 1220 on your AM dial, Clara Luper radio show. Mom, something else is getting ready to happen. The Kappa
We have
Alpha
somebody.
Psi,
Okay.
Kappa Alpha Psi is getting ready to have something. The Alphas are getting ready to have something.
And the Deltas
The
always have
Deltas
something,
are
and
having
Zetas are having
great.
something. But we have somebody on
tell
the
it about
line,
it?
Calvin.
Okay, those are fraternities.
Okay.
Good morning.
And
Thank you.
sororities.
And sororities.
Good morning.
Yes.
How you doing?
I was calling about the question from Miss
Okay.
Rosa Parks. She was a secretary.
Secretary of the NACP, you're right. What is your name?
My name is Antoinette Bowie.
Antoinette Bowie. You are exactly right. Antoinette Bowie.
I thought that would be a difficult question. Way to go, Miss Bowie. Way to go.
You better get,
Rosa
Calvin,
Parks.
you better get these things out now because.
Mom, I got them. Everybody's quite happy now. They received
I wonder if
their
Reverend Lee is
thing.
happy.
Reverend Lee is quite happy. Reverend Robert Lee has that dress. But you know, one thing about Rosa Parks, here she is a young lady, definitely over the age of 35. And
oh, she wasn't that old then.
She was older than 35, wasn't she?
Okay, I'm not going to tell you.
That's not a question. Okay. All right. But we have another call on the line. Do we? We do. Ask a question. Or ask a question that I don't know the answer to.
Okay, well, I want to know what big offer you've had that you've been walking around all the way.
I told you
and
to
you
keep
call
this-
your aunt down in, your aunt called you from
in Genesis,
Texas.
Texas. I'm bragging. I called Shelley. I've called the West Coast. I've called the East Coast. I didn't call anybody in Canada. I don't have any friends in Canada no more. But I have some in Detroit. I got to call them. I called them tonight.
Well, go to, wait a minute. Let's tell Miss Bowie to go to 1917 Northeast 24th Street after she get a certificate. Now, that's the petite, and that's where you not only get your hair dressed, but you can buy some clothes that are out of sight. Marie Weekly, 1917 Northeast 24th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The next question.
Next question.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you this.
Okay, Calvin, I'm saying that all of you that want to be pages in the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, you have to contact Mrs. Leola Ford. Her telephone number is 4242462, or she will tell you how to get in contact with Miss Wilma Ray. But we are talking about Martin Luther King, and we are very serious in talking about Martin Luther King. We are talking about Martin Luther King this week, and we need to know something about Martin Luther
Well,
King.
there are many activities going on, Mom, and I had an opportunity, and I recommend to all of you that you look in the recent Ebony, and you see a picture of Dr. King there on the front row. I think that was the year before he graduated from Morehouse College. It was an outstanding picture, and it shows how important pictures are. You know, I really felt good seeing that. But I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening at Rose State. I'm looking forward to Midwest City. Looking forward to the march, leaving Ralph Ellison and walking all the way down there to the state capitol, the ringing of the bell. I'm just looking forward to. You know, it's more than a celebration for an individual. It's a celebration for us as a people. And I'm talking about my black friends, my white friends, some of my Mexican friends, some of my Vietnamese and Chinese friends. It is a celebration for us to all come together and to make this city, make this state a better place. And the only way we can do it is by doing it together. Democrat, Republican, conservative, Christian, Muslim, whatever.
Well, the Republicans will be moving out the Capitol.
Well, they'll be moving out, but I'm saying,
Democrats
we still need to work together to make the spirit of Martin Luther King, to make the spirit of the Clara Luper corridor, to make the spirit of Oklahoma, to make the spirit of the Guardian that we spent all the millions on and could have bought some buses with, to make that spirit bring us all together. Last week was a tough week because we didn't know how these kids were going to get to school. And I saw some kids that they had on Britain Road, they had to stop traffic so about 20 kids could run across the street and run down the street and try to catch a city bus. Pathetic looking situation, knowing that my tax money has not been spent in the way that I think all of us could benefit from it. And knowing your tax money too, because I'm not the only one that pay taxes. You know, you go in the grocery store, they don't say, well, this tax is for Calvin or for Clara. This tax is for you, and it's supposed to be to help our kids. We mapped it out. Now let's really do something together to bring this community together and to act together. Like, you know, I'm just. Oh, I don't know, so many things.
We must continue to do great things, and I would like to thank those of you, and I would like to let you know that the people that's responsible for Clara Luper is not only one individual, but it's hundreds of people. It's the people that believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. The people from Hoffman, Oklahoma, that had a BYPU where we had programs that allowed us to say our speeches, not get up there and read them, but to memorize them. I would like to thank the unsung heroes that you will never hear of, that have never made the headlines. And when I think of Fifth Street Baptist Church, I think of Mrs. Pinky Knight, who was blind and who never missed a day in calling saying, I want you all to go on. I will never see a restaurant inside, but I want my people to do it. And I would like to thank the unsung heroes, those youth advisors that have traveled with me all over the country and have seen me receive honors and have pushed me on. I would like to thank you, and that's why I have one more thing that I want to do at Freedom Center, and that's to put in a Freedom Center garden. And I would like to thank a great friend of mine who sent the first $100 to make this garden a reality. I would also like to thank the students of Oklahoma State University that say our landscaping class will do it up for you, and they did it. Those of you that will come by Freedom Center today, you can see the one that has been selected. It's number 4. I would like to thank the Oklahoma Historical Society for their input. You know, I owe so much to everybody. I would just like to thank you because I'm not a self-made person. I'm a part of you. You have made me what I am. This is Clara Luper. Hello?
Hello, Miss Luper.
Yes.
This is Pastor Lee Benson. How are you doing this morning?
Pastor, I am fine today.
Pastor who?
Lee Benson.
Lee Benson. Okay, welcome.
Yes, sir. I am. And please tell me I'm not on the air.
You are on the air, so you better be careful what you say. You remember there was a senator who said the wrong thing and lost his majority.
Well, I certainly don't want to be guilty of saying the wrong thing. I had a public announcement that I wanted to make.
Well, make it.
All right. Thank you, Sister Luper. You're always so conducive and receptive to what we're trying to do. You being a former educator and then, of course, always staying abreast of what's going on in the community, recently there has been a cut in bus services that have affected a lot of our students, especially in the Northeast Quadrant. And we're having a community meeting at the Fairview Baptist Church today. And our concerned clergy is trying to make some means or some offers to parents to try to help alleviate the situation. This is certainly devastating to some parents, such a short notice and so abruptly the service is cut off. And we're trying to, as ministers of the city, trying to come up with some solution. We've been working with the Transit Authority, and so we're having a community meeting today at 12 noon at Fairview at the 1700 block on North Rhode Island. We're asking the community to come out, parents, grandparents, those that have any interest in providing some type of alternate transportation to alleviate this problem that has come up recently in our Oklahoma City public schools.
Okay, now what are some of the recommendations?
Well, right now we're still in the incubator stages. We some of the churches have offered to buy passes for the children that are affected through the Transit Authority, that the city provides, and there was some conversation relevant to something being done. Maybe the church is providing transportation, but I think that was kind of scrapped, Sister Luper. I think the most amenable way to get this done is to perhaps provide some passes.
Oh, the church has got all these buses. Can't they use them?
Well, that is, like I said, it's still in the early stages of discussion. And there's so much to be desired as it relates to liability and drivers.
Well, they can get insurance. All they have to do, they can get special insurance. And somebody called me last week and said I can't drive my car because I don't have insurance. But you can go out to Allstate Insurance, Maryland.
No.
Wait, they can't get insurance.
Don't send no bus drivers out there.
No, not bus drivers, but some of these people.
730 West Britain Road. Don't send nobody out there for no insurance to take a whole bunch of kids to these schools. The churches have to do that. You have to do that. We all have to get it all together on their own. Okay, great. Gotcha.
Yeah,
well,
and certainly, Brother Calvin there has made a valid point. There is such a degree, Sister Luper, of even though the gesture would be noble, it would be great, but there's such a deep-seated concern of the limits of liability. You can have a certain limit of liability and it still not be adequate or ample enough when you start talking about commuting and carrying children. And so it's probably, the Oklahoma City Transit Authority is already set up, and they already have an umbrella that would provide the appropriate type of liability when transporting a mass group of people.
Well, Reverend, is that the real problem? Or do you think the preachers would get up at, they would have to get up at 5:30 in order to get the kids to school on time?
No.
Not Reverend Benson.
No, preacher have to get up a lot earlier than 5 o'clock.
They have to get up in order to get the children to school on time.
No, they have to get up a lot earlier than 5 o'clock to address some of the concerns that in dealing when you're in the people business.
I'm talking about to get that insurance where they can haul some children.
Well, like I said, that is and then you got to have drivers. That's.
Well, we got drivers. Every minister I know got driver's license.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot different, my sister, and you having drivers to volunteer their services on Sunday morning or various different midweek services, as opposed to a day in and day out basis. On a serious note.
Well, I just had an idea. I have a cousin who's a cab driver. Mm-hmm. Maybe my cousin, his name is Doug, will get out here and take some young people.
Well, certainly any input or any noble ideas for us to assist these children and parents to get to school and to overcome this problem.
There's no problem. You saw we solved that this week. Don't worry about it, man. What time is the meeting? What time is the meeting?
Meeting's 12 noon at Fairview.
Well, tell me about the Martin Luther King services that will be at St. John.
All right. Pastor Lee Cooper's chairing that. I've been sort of out of the loop on that. I do know we have a dynamic speaker and a minister from Dallas by the name of Zan Holmes, who is a national renowned minister and very much involved in the civil rights.
And what time is that program?
It's at 3 o'clock, which that will be next Sunday at 3 o'clock. It is the granddaddy celebration of the Martin Luther King services, instituted, of course, by our beloved pastor, Dr. W.K. Jackson. This service, I think, is in its probably about its 30th year. And, of course, Sister Luper, you've been a part of that program on many occasions. You have...
Well, Reverend Benson, don't talk about Clara Luper. I want to talk about I'd like to see you getting up and be sure and pick the kids up on time. Reverend Benson's been a pleasure to talk to you, okay?
Thank you.
But my cousin will solve the problem. Doug will solve it.
On serious note, we thank you for your time of sharing your airtime with us and allowing us to make this announcement to the community. We may not be able to solve the problem in its totality, but we certainly
not in its totality. These preachers use a
got totality.
By Reverend
on this bus
okay, wait a minute. I can get everybody a car. Wait a minute. I can get everybody a car because Rodale at John Vance's is selling cars, and he has 11 lines. Tell me the lines.
You're certainly right, Mom, because Rodale Hornbeck is Advanced Motor Company, where not only does he have one car, I mean, not just your Ford, but he got a Mercury. He got your Ford trucks. He got any of your utility vehicles. He has the Cadillac. He has the Buick. He has the Pontiac, the GMC truck, the Chrysler,
you have his telephone number so we can call him.
Let me finish telling you what all he got, Mom.
He has
Dodge trucks, the PT Cruiser, and what they don't have, you know what? Rodale will make a special effort to go get it for you.
You know
that
what
phone number, 282-21139. If you need a car, see Rodale at John Vance Motors, I-35 in South Guthrie. They have 11 lines, and I told you about all of them.
Some of these retired teachers can get out too and to take the kids. Calvin, you know what I like about the radio? It brings people together. For example, I have a handsome minister that has just walked in here, Reverend Robert E. Lee. Reverend Lee, how are you?
I'm just doing fine, Clara.
I'm just so happy to have an opportunity to meet you.
Yes, I was answering that question, I think, last week about who was born first, John or Jesus.
Yes, and you told me. Now, can you answer the question today? How are you?
I'm just doing great. I wanted to come by here and bring you that certificate on the chitlins. Not that I don't like chitlins, I do, but I wanted the beauty supplies, and Calvin sent me chitlins.
Calvin sent you chitlins?
Yes, instead of the beauty supplies for my wife. Remember I told you I'd take that from my wife. He sent the wrong thing.
Calvin Luper, aren't you ashamed of yourself?
Yeah.
How could you
I'm not ashamed. I made a mistake. I'm only human. I make up for that. Where you going to get the beauty supplies from? Where you going to get the beauty supplies from?
That's no problem.
From Lamar's.
From Lamar's, right there on Northeast 23rd.
Well, Calvin, you're going to tell us about your offer.
Mom, I've got to.
Well, wait a minute. You got to correct it. You're going to correct it for Reverend Lee, right?
Not now.
I need to be I need to be beautiful, Calvin. So you, yeah, and my wife too. She's already beautiful.
Well, I please accept my most sincere apology.
That's all right.
That's because I only made one mistake last week.
That's all right.
You won.
That's okay.
Just one mistake all week long.
That's why they put erasers on pencils. Because people make mistakes.
But I haven't had to apologize on the radio.
Tell me what you've been offered, please, because my time is running out.
I told you the time is running out, and I got my list over there. But I have been given the opportunity to become a choir director.
What?
A choir director for one of the churches.
A church here in Oklahoma City.
It will be here in Oklahoma City.
You've had an opportunity to become a choir director.
Right.
Okay, honestly. You better do your happy birthday.
I got to. Sister Lucille Cooksey. Let's see, who else is on? Charles, you got my list on there. David Hall's birthday, one more. And all that's coming
Miss Matthews, Gloria Matthews' birthday is on the 18th.
Right. Well, mine is the 17th.
Yours is 17th.
17th of this month.
Call that neighbor, call that friend, tell them to get ready. Sister Lucille Cooksey, here it comes to you. Sister Geneva Petty.
Well, sing,
she's 74. Joshua hit the big 4-year-old. David Hall, I can't tell his age. Antoinette, no, not Antoinette Boyd. But Brother Lee, here it goes to you.
Go ahead. I'm ready for this.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sister Cooksey. Happy birthday, Joshua. Happy birthday, Miss Petty. Happy birthday, Reverend Lee. Happy birthday to you, and may you have many, many more.
And you have the audacity to tell us that you've been offered a job as a choir director.
I'll tell you more
just
about
a director, not a singer.
No.
A director.
I'm a director and singer. I'm not going to director.
Okay.
I wanted to say something about the Alphas, Mom. They having something
about the Alphas?
Coming up January 18th at Tabernacle Baptist Church. They're having a special celebration. You need to be a part of it. I'm going to give you a phone number. I'll give you a phone number here. January 18th. You better call somebody. Call J.D. Daniels, Gerald Henderson, Ken Lawson, or Jerry Warrior, or any of the Alphas. Brother Lee Cooper, or Brother John Mayshak.
You better tell the students that you're having class today that starts at 11
Certainly
o'clock.
And we're not singing today. We're just having a meeting, and we're inspiring young people. Beautiful program going, Mom.
Well, this is Clara Luper, and I've asked you to stay out of trouble. I get so sick of you robbing and stealing and killing. All you have to do is get up off your constitutions and go to work. This is Clara Luper saying, those of you down in Lexington, be sure and call me because I have a decision whether or not I can make it down there on your celebration.
I'm going to ride to school. How can I be so?
Okay, call a preacher. No, call my cousin. No, call Miss Ford. Bye-bye. Clara Luper, and I do love you. Bye-bye.
We'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Clara Luper Show. Join Sister Clara Luper here each and every Saturday from 9 until 10 at your number one gospel station, KTLV. And until next Saturday, may God bless you.
And the views and opinions expressed on the preceding program are not necessarily those of AM Radio 1220 KTLV.
Father, I need your help in a hand.
This is your key to living victoriously. AM 1220 KTLV, Midwest City, Oklahoma City, and streaming audio at www.ktlv1220.com.